Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about something important in order to learning English. That is, it is very important, friends. There are so many strategies to learn English language. It is the best way I can say to learn this language. That is storytelling. Storytelling is the best way to learn a language, any language it is. It is the natural process of learning language. Today I want to tell you how we can tell a story. This is very unfamiliar language to us. How even utter a single sentence is a very hard to us, to beginners. How can we tell a story in this language? How it works to us. You can ask me. I will tell the process of this. How we can tell a story in a natural way. So first we have to pick up a storybook, friends. First of all, we have to pick up a storybook that which genre we are interested in. If we are interested in such stories, we cannot be bored and we get interested to learn more and more. You know, Learning English through stories is the best way I can say. You know, how we learn our native language, our grandmothers and mothers telling stories in our childhood. By listening stories, we learn our native language. That is how we have to learn this language. In this way, there are so many ways to learn language. This is one of the way and best way to learn English. I am also a learner. I am finding the interesting ways to learn English. So in order to which ways I am getting interested, so I want to share them to you. If you are getting interested, if you are getting some knowledge about this language through these videos, that is enough for me. So that is why I am making this video. So I am coming with this video to tell you how to tell stories, how to articulate the stories. So first we have to pick up a book of stories. So I can suggest that Sudhamurthy ma'am books are very much grounded for beginners, and we can learn so many real life vocabularies from those books also. So that is my preference. So you can find out your preference. So if you are very beginner to this language, you can pick up some children books, children story books, comic books like that. So just pick up a book of stories, and first choose a story. So first of all, if you are very beginner for this language, just pick up some small stories. We can find out those stories on ChatGPT, on Google also. So pick up a story, and how we have to read story. I am telling that first we have to read story. How we have to read that story? So there is, we have to read that story three times. So on your first reading, you have to focus on the concept. You have to focus on the concept. Don't get into the vocabularies and the grammatical patterns and sentence structures. Just grab the content of the story. So what the author is telling us. So just grab the content of the story in your first reading. So in your second reading, or after completed your first reading, you read again that story. So in your second reading, what you have to do is, so in your first reading, you came across some vocabularies. You came across some vocabularies. So just left behind those vocabularies. Just understand those vocabularies in your first reading. I am saying, In your first reading, just understand those vocabularies in a context. So in a context, you don't get into that in your first reading. So what is the meaning of the vocabulary? Don't search for that. In your first reading, just focus on the concept and learn vocabularies, understand those vocabularies in your in that context. And in your second reading, just underline or highlight the vocabularies so which you came across, underline those vocabularies and write down those vocabularies in a book. So after completed your reading, in the flow of the reading, don't stuck and don't try to write those vocabularies, just underline or highlight those vocabularies, and then after reading, you can write down those vocabularies. So and then you go to Google or ChatGPT to find the meaning of the vocabularies and examples also. So you can search, give me the meaning of this word, and with examples you can text like this, you can give text like this to ChatGPT. It gives you the meaning and with examples. So you have to understand the examples also. So the vocabulary is how we can use as a as a noun or as a pronoun, as a adjective, as a verb, as a bad verb. How we have to use that vocabulary so we can understand. So when we read examples, we can understand that we can incorporate those vocabularies in our speaking also. In our speaking also we can incorporate those vocabularies. So just to know the meaning of the vocabulary, just understand how we can use those vocabularies in a sentence. So this is how our second reading has to be. And the third reading, in your third reading, what you have to do is, don't don't get into anything. Just you know, the now you know the content of the story, and you know the meaning of the vocabularies. So what you have to do is just read fastly, as fast as you can. Read it read it. So and read it as a flow, don't stop. So you can understand the, while reading you can understand the grammatical patterns, which grammatical patterns the author used, which sentence structures the author used, you can grab automatically. So if you know the concept of the story, if you know where what is the state of the story, so either it is in future or past or present, you can know through through the tense of the sentences. So and you can grab automatically if you know the content of the story, if you know the meaning of the vocabularies. So the after completed these three readings, after completed these three readings, here is your task started. So what you have to do is retell that story to anyone, to your friends or family members, whoever you have with. Just sit them in front of you, uh, uh, and tell the story. So if you don't have anyone to tell the story, tell the story with yourself. Tell the story with yourself, or in front of the mirror, or as if, imagine as if you are telling the story to other person. Imagine that, tell the story, or tell the story to objects also. Whatever objects in front of you, just tell the story in your words. Don't stuck at place for finding the vocabularies. You read the vocabularies for the first time, you can't get the exact vocabularies. So you, whatever you have in your mind related word, related the context of the word, just use it. Don't stuck at place for the vocabularies. So if the vocabulary come to you again and again, it automatically register in your mind. It automatically come to you. So, but what you have to do is don't stuck at place while telling the story. Don't stuck in middle for recalling the recalling those vocabularies. That is what I am saying. You know the meaning of the vocabulary. Just tell the meaning in the stories. So it is enough. So this is how we have to tell the stories. So in this way, how just articulate the story. You have the content of the story in your mind. So just articulate the story. Don't try to imitate the story. Whatever you learn, whatever you learn, just don't try to imitate as it is. So the grammatical patterns, sentence structures, as it is, we can't, that means you are mugging up. If you mugging up and you are trying to tell as it is, you can't learn. So you just tell. You have the content in your mind. You have the content of the story in your mind. What you while reading story, you imagine the story in your mind. The imagination are there in your mind. Just just tell that imagination. Just tell that story, whatever in your mind, with your words, whatever words you have with. So just tell them in your words, and uh, just try to articulate them in a better way. So don't try to tell how the other explain of the style of yours, in your style. Explain in your style. Don't try to imitate the other style. So just try to imitate whatever the grammatical patterns and sentence structures you have in your mind. Just try to you do, if even you do mistakes, not no matter. So in this video I'm making so many mistakes, no matter. Just tell, just articulate your thoughts. I am articulating my thoughts, even with mistakes. I know I am making mistakes. Even though I am trying to articulate my thoughts. So you have to articulate that story to others, or to you, even to yourself. This is how we have to practice storytelling. In initial days, it would be hard. It would be hard in initial days, but after some time, gradually. So every day you try this. Gradually, you can articulate your thoughts and ideas also, like these stories. You can get more clarity in grammar. You can get more clarity in sentence structures. You can get more words gradually. And with those words and sentence structures, you can bind the sentence. You can structure the sentence in a proper way, in the gradual manner. In the gradual manner, you can produce, you can articulate your thoughts in a good manner, I can say. So this is how we have to practice storytelling. By by articulation of storytelling, gradually, naturally you can present your thoughts and ideas to other person. So this is how we have to learn English. So storytelling is the best way in order to learn English. This is, I trust this. That is why I am articulating my thoughts to you right now. Why? Because not every day. I can't do every day. So, but whenever I have time, I I try to, whatever story I read, I try to explain myself with my words, with whatever words I have. With I try to articulate those stories. I go upstairs and wandered around the terrace. I went upstairs and wandered around the terrace. I was practicing these like this. So that is why I am getting some confidence to speak. So this is how we have to learn. I am also a learner. You can see, I am making mistakes. I am also a learner, but within 5 months, I has been learning this language for 5 months. Within 5 months, I get this much of, at least I can tell you, I can tell you my thoughts and ideas through videos. I am telling you. So within 5 months, if I do this, why can't you? Why can't you? In 1 year, I can I can articulate my thoughts in more better way with low flaws. I know that. So this is how we have to practice. Do practice every day. You will get one day the result. So this is what I want to say in this video. Friends, if you like this video, don't go without subscribing. It gives me motivation to do more. Thank you so much for watching this video.